What is up? It's your boy Ronan back with another video. If you don't know who I am, I'm an artist, designer, illustrator. I have a really cool webcomic called The Heavy you can check out in the description below. It's kind of a sci-fi drama, militaristic action comic. If you like that kind of stuff, please do check it out. I think you'll like it. But what I mostly do here at this channel is fan art. I'm a major comic book fan, been reading comic books my whole life. And that's what I do here. I do a lot of fan art. And today, though, is going to be more of an art vlog as opposed to fan art. I am going to be doing some art, but not in the way I've been doing it so far. Today, I'm going to be doing my very first full-on digitally illustrated piece of work. I mean, everything I do is kind of digital, but I tend to draw traditionally in the old-fashioned way. I've never 100% really done a totally digital drawing from beginning to end, meaning like with a tablet. So today, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. We'll see. I hope it turns out good. Maybe it'll be bad. So I'll catch you at the end or maybe in the middle. I don't know. These vlogs tend to be a little different. So to give you an idea of what I mean when I say I do, I don't really do digital art. I mean, I do digital art, but not not entirely on the tablet like this. You can see clearly that this is drawn. You can see the pencil under here, and I'm converting it to, to vectors because I'm doing a vector piece. But so you can see the pencil lines under there, and then these are the vectors. Let me erase the pencil lines. So you can see the vectors that I'm converting it to, but originally, it's all pencil, drawn on pencil. I mean, on paper. So, yeah, that's normally what I do, and then I color and I do everything on the computer. But I start out on, old fashioned. So this is going to be 100% digital. So, with this being my first real tablet drawing, you'll see that it is a bit of a challenge for me. I actually approached this in I would say a kind of an opposite way, where I do lay out his form with some light blue lines, but eventually I fill him in with the color, and then I kind of more do it in a painterly fashion as opposed to a linear fashion. So I'm more creating the piece really more by color and shapes rather than lines, basically. Normally with a comic book or with anything, I draw outlines first and then I color it in. But with this, I kind of colored and then went from there. I mean, I had a base sketch. But really, it was really dependent upon the color to create the form. And the main reason for this is that, man, it is really hard to draw on a tablet. Made harder by the fact that I'm trying to record it, and when I record, I don't really draw at the angle and stuff that I normally would draw it. But basically, I mean, when you're trying to draw on this tablet screen, it's a little bit slick. It's not like paper. It doesn't have the tooth that paper has. I have a screen protector on my, this is a Microsoft Surface. I have a screen protector on it that has kind of a waxy coating on it that's specifically designed for that. It makes it feel a little bit more like paper, but it is still hard to draw on it. And, it just takes practice. Yeah, it's very difficult to make like circles and ovals. Really difficult. It's very difficult to make clean lines. I think that one thing that I noticed is that if I draw on a very large canvas and then shrink it down, it doesn't look necessarily as sketchy. But if you zoom in on it, it looks pretty dang sketchy. The lines look very loose. So that's something I would have to work on. Don't know if I will work on it because
tablets, I don't know, man. And just like having to get used to not using a mouse was just difficult. I'm just not used to that. I'm used to using the keyboard and mouse when I'm, doing stuff, and just trying to pinch and zoom and all that stuff was very. It took a bit of time to get used to. So yeah, this was my first time working on it for real. I did a little Daredevil, and I think it didn't turn out too terrible. I cleaned it up a little bit off camera, put a little bit more color in it off camera because, like I said, it's kind of awkward working on the camera. But yeah, my first tablet comic illustration. I think going forward, I'll probably, if I do things on the tablet, I'll do more painterly things and not really do linear things. So I probably will do more like painting, concept art type stuff, not comic stuff. So we'll see.
Hey, how you doing? It's the middle of the vlog. I'm just checking in, see how you're doing, if you're enjoying it so far. I think that didn't turn out too bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Maybe I'll try another one in the future. You just got to practice with it, and we'll see what happens. I'm still kind of a Luddite in that way. I'm just old school, man. I like my pen and paper. But enough of that. I think we'll get on with the vlog. All right, peace. All right. I don't know why I said that like that. Anyways, so yeah, back talking about comics I'm reading or some stuff that I think is cool. So this is an art book, and actually the video I did last week was Hard Boiled by Jeff Darrow, and this is one of his art books. This is just like a lot of his pencil work. Not a lot. I mean, he does a lot of pencil work, but it's called Lead Poisoning, and I just love. You can see, like I said, the level of the funny thing about his art. Another thing that kills me about the way this guy draws is like, look how dirty the page is. I mean, it's impossible to put this much work on the page and not get dirty. That's one of my weird idiosyncrasies as an artist. I hate when my page gets dirty. It's just a nightmare. I hate it. And so it slows me down because I hate getting my page dirty, but sometimes you just can't avoid it. And ironically, when I was drawing that hard-boiled illustration, the page got really, really dirty. But there's nothing I could do about it. But just look at this level of detail here, God, this dude's a madman. But yeah, I haven't even read any of these captions or anything, or any of these. I've just, looked through it. I just look through it on occasion for inspiration or whatever. But it's just, you can see just the insane amount of detail he puts into everything. And again, he draws very, very complex machinery, and not just complex machinery, but he has a specific. He likes like 1950s looking things. So like you can see here this car. You can see here like this Greyhound looking bus. He likes drawing things that look like they're from the 50s. And those are specifically very difficult to draw because they're not, they're very odd shapes. They have all this trim on them and stuff that is a nightmare to draw. And he just loves, he draws them all the time. Everything he does looks like old 50s kind of technology. He actually did a lot of the machines and things like the designs from The Matrix. So all those machines and robot stuff, he designed them. So yeah, that's Jeff Darrow. This is my guy. I don't have heroes because I'm a grown ass man, but if I had heroes, this would be one of them. But yeah, so that's Lead Poisoning by Jeff Darrow. Let's see what else we got here. My Cosmic Odysseys. So this is good old fashioned superhero stuff. I know I don't do a lot of straight up superhero stuff on here all the time. But man, this is just good old fashioned. I think it's from '88. Look how nice, how well this is held up too. I mean, I don't know if this is a reprint. Even if it is, I got it a long time ago. Got these a long time ago. I mean, I got these probably early 2000s, and I had these previously when I was a kid. And I mean, it's just, usually I don't like this kind of weird format to where you can't open it, but the comic books are so thin you can. But I hate these. I don't know what this is called, but it's not like a straight up floppy, and it's not hardcover. It's kind of like a graphic, that whatever you make graphic novels of, but they're a little bit thinner, so it's a little bit more manageable. But anyways, this is 1988. Mike Mignola, who's famous for Hellboy, and I mean Mike Mignola. I mean I like Jeff Darrow, but this dude is like also one of my favorites. He's gotten more and more abstract as time's gone on, but he's always had these. I just love this shot. Look at that. New Genesis. Isn't that awesome? But anyways, he has this really moody. He's always done shadows really well. Look at that Superman. How he's just all in shadow there. And it's just, he's always the moodiness of his shadows, and his line work is really good too, because what he does is, at this time he was still more traditional. I mean, he still had this really interesting drawing style at this stage, but he's even more abstract now. So this is more traditional looking, but a little Kirby-esque too. I'm trying to find a really good, like, look at those shadows right there. This dude choking Batman. Well, look at this. Look at the way he does. I love the way. Look at Darkseid right there. Yeah, the way this dude just does. You can tell, like, he was probably at the end of this rope by the end of this, though, because this gets really loose and sketchy toward the end of this. But I mean, this looks really good for '88. I mean, it's funny how we use computer coloring now, and I mean, this just had some, a little bit of watercolor on here. I don't know. It looks like some of this stuff, though, I don't know how they did some, because some of it doesn't look like watercolor, and some of these gradients look like I don't know. This gradient doesn't look like watercolor, but maybe it is. But anyways, I mean, this looks as good as anything that's produced today with computers. You know what I mean? It's just gorgeous. But I've always been a fan of watercolor in comic books anyway, so. Yeah, look at these shadows. So yeah, love some Cosmic Odyssey. The art's just beautiful. I like Orion too. Orion's kind of dope. I want to do an Orion. Maybe I'll do just an illustration of this and not talk about it, because it's just superhero stuff. It's not particularly deep or interesting. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just straight up superhero comics. Nothing special or new here. Look at that shot. Orion just killed all those Thanagarians. He's a butcher. But yeah, so that's Cosmic Odyssey. I think I'm gonna do a drawing of it where I just like illustrate it, but I don't talk about it because there's not much to say there. I'm gonna be doing a thing of this comic. This is a pretty dope comic. Nothing I'm showing right now is new. Called Luther Strode, and man, this comic book is dope. Let's see here. Sorry. So, anyways, Luther Strode. This is from this is not too long ago. This is 2015. But basically, it's kind of funny. This comic book, when I was a kid, they used to have in like the 80s, they would have like little adverts for this handbook you could buy, and it was like a little advert where this nerdy dude is on the beach with his girl, and then this big tough guy comes up and kicks sand in his face or whatever, and does he take his girlfriend? I can't remember. Anyways, the guy goes and gets this handbook, and he reads it. It teaches you what exercises to do, and then he gets like really buff, and then he punches the dude in the face. So it's like, it's gonna make you bigger and stronger. But anyways, I don't think anybody ever ordered these books, but the the plot of this is that this nerdy kid did order one of those books, and it made him like a superhero kind of dude. But man, this comic book is super violent, and Trad Moore is just ridiculous, man. This dude's action scenes, the way he draws action is just insane. It's almost like choreography. Like he draws probably the best fighting and action scenes I've ever seen. I mean, look how covered in blood this dude is. Like the people when they get into fights. Make sure this thing is. Yeah, look how covered in blood this dude is. Luther Strode is. When the people get into fights, I mean, like people, get murdered left and right in this comic. It's crazy. And so, like, look at this. It is super violent. I will say this comic book is super violent. This dude gets his head blown off. So basically, all the people who read these end up reading this handbook, end up getting the same powers as Luther Strode, but most of the other people seem to become evil. But Luther Strode didn't. He's a good guy. But like, look at this choreography right here. She flips over his head and elbows him in the face here. And just look how gorgeous that is. How he does that. This dude can really just the fluidity of the action scenes. Look how he does the hair and how he's jumping off the thing here. Look at this lady's getting shot at and she's like dodging the bullets. This dude's art is just awesome. Look at how he does the ground. She lands on the ground. It almost looks like a wave when she's hitting it. So dope. So, anyways, so Luther Strode, it's kind of not really superheroes in the sense that they don't wear capes or anything like that. And it's not, no one's wearing, no secret identities or anything like that. But I mean, super powered people, super strong. And super violent, but it is super dope. Love this comic, and I will be doing some more in depth about this because there's another series that came out before this one, so I'll be doing an in depth of that. What else we got? I'm going too long here. Oh, this is a dope comic I got. These are Mouse Guard. This comic is really cool. It's like This is like a really cool all ages comic, and the funny thing about it is a lot of times when people make properties and they try and make them all ages, they tend to be not really all ages, or they have to dumb them down for children. At some point, we decided children were stupid and you had to dumb stuff down for them, but you don't really have to dumb stuff down for kids. You know what I mean? Just it doesn't have to be adult, but so this comic book is really cool in that it doesn't dumb down the stuff for children. Adults can enjoy it and children. I mean, the art is great. You don't have to make stuff look bad for just because kids are reading it. You know what I mean? The art just looks like really good, like an illustration from a children's book, the illustration style. And I mean, it's just beautiful. I haven't read all of them. I mean, I don't have all the issues, but it's just like these like Mice Knights or something. I don't know. I don't have every single one of them, but they're like just these little mice, man. And they have to worry about everything, like worrying about this owl trying to get them. I'm really not describing this comic book well. I'm really not, but it's a really dope comic. I mean, I just love the concept. I mean, I think this is probably one of the few properties I've ever seen that is genuinely all age. Like, look at this little beetle here. That's cute. Got this little beetle with a tray on his back, carrying things around for him. But I just think it's really interesting and difficult to do when someone can make an all ages book that everyone likes. I mean, this is rather old. This from 2007, but I mean, this was a big deal when it came out. Here's the funny thing: Jeff Darrow, who I was just talking about, did this little pinup right here. That's funny because I've never seen this. I haven't. As long as I've had this book, I never noticed this. But yeah. It's very difficult to do, and I think this comic book just does it really well. It's pretty dope. I'm trying to see, man. This is getting kind of long. I didn't mean it to go this long. I think I'm going to stop it there because I don't want this video to be too long. But I got a couple more comic books in the stack, but I think I'll save them until next time. So, yeah. camera's getting closer to my face every time. Anyways, that was the vlog. That was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment, and let me know if you're an artist yourself. Let me know what kind of brushes I should be using, because I'm sure I don't know what I'm doing on the tablet. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next week. Nah, I ain't gonna say next week, but I'll catch you next time. All right, peace.